times. I'm Pat.
Hi, Patrick. I'm Jeffrey.
That's enough medical updates.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, I guess this thing, uh, if it takes at least 4 months to schedule, man, this thing must be kind of
Well, I don't know.
specialized.
It doesn't sound like it. I'll find out. But that's all my late 40s tests knocked out. Mid to late 40s tests knocked out, I guess.
That's the last one.
Yeah, I've had all the others, man. So, even some ones that I probably didn't need, but that's okay. I was like, fine, do them. So,
Well, did you like did you pass like you're on like the honor roll, or did you pass like 65?
no, I'm on the honor roll
All
on
right.
all of these things. So, yeah, there's only one that I haven't had done, and that's an endoscopy.
That one goes up your butt, doesn't it?
No, I've had that one. So the other one is where it goes down your
Down your
throat,
throat.
and they check for ulcers. So,
Yeah, that's right. My mom used to have those.
well, they knock you out for it. So you don't just like
I didn't
open
ask.
wide.
I didn't.
It's only going to be
Wasn't
weird for the first second or two.
wasn't gonna be there for it anyway.
So,
Well, but that's also, yes, it's a good point. Yeah. Well, I know that for, like brain surgeries, to make sure that they don't hit the wrong part of your brain. Like if you're a cellist, they have you sit there and play the cello while they fucking, carve up your brain to make sure that nothing goes haywire. So I don't know if, with an endoscopy, just send it down there, just ask you questions. So like, you do it before. Oh.
yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that she was having some trouble with her. That kind of doctor is what, a gastroenterologist.
Gastroenterologist,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So I saw them like 2 years ago. They put me on like some kind of fucking heartburn medicine for a little bit,
Right,
but I didn't
right.
really have reflux, man. So they were just kind of like, well, try this. Maybe this will help with that. And then I took it for a little while and I never renewed the prescription because I was like, this doesn't do anything.
Sometimes you just got to make that. You got to make that decision. Sometimes they're like, you should be taking this. Like, well, it doesn't do anything,
Well, it doesn't
so
do
I'm not going to do
anything.
it.
Well, and the other thing is, they ask you these questions and they say, do you get heartburn? I'm like, well, yeah, sometimes after I drink a shitload of beer and go to Taco Bell at
Exactly.
1 a.m. It's like, I kind of know what causes this.
It could be a follow up question. It's like, do you get heartburn? It's like, yes. Is it your fault? It's like, yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
totally my
yeah.
fault. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like, like in the morning, if I go down to work and I drink like accidentally 3 cups of coffee and not eat like a bagel or something, I'll get it. And it's like, yeah, that's my fault. So I understand this, you know?
I mean, I am susceptible at this point where, like, I will every now and then wake up and I'll have it, basically in my throat, right? Where you spit and it's right there. Again, that is self-induced, right? There are certain things that you can do as a kid and somehow like the mechanism still function or
Yeah, you
isn't like
can't do that
weakened.
when you get
Where it's like, all right, so what did I do? It's like, well, I ate that whole pizza, right?
older.
And when they said like, which one do you want? I'm like, just regular. And they're
Right.
like, well, we got this one. It's no extra cost. It's quadruple pepperoni and extra onions,
Oh, yeah,
right?
perfect.
I said no extra cost. It's like, we'll shave $1 off,
We'll take $1 off. In
no
fact,
problem.
you'll be doing us a favor.
Yeah, exactly. We gotta throw this out if
We
we
gotta
don't
throw
use it.
this out,
You
yeah.
know.
So,
So yeah, so they give me that pizza and they're like, all right, well, you have to sign the slip when you buy it,
right.
right? It says you acknowledge you're not going to eat this four
four
hours
hours
before
before you go to
bedtime.
bed,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then yeah, just like I go ahead and brush my teeth and wash it down with 2 slices of pizza, and then it's go to bed. And then
Like that greasy feel on your teeth, huh?
yeah, and suddenly at like 2 in the morning, I'm sitting there like coughing because there's fucking acid vomit in the back of my throat. Like
I used to get that, but I figured out what it was, man. So it was like I'd go to bed before I went to bed. I'd pop in a couple of Oreos and drink a big tall glass of milk,
there you go.
and it's the milk that does that. So
Well,
It,
it's not going to help that you're milking it with a whole bunch of sugar too, man.
well, my sugar tolerance is extremely high.
No matter what your tolerance is, like the sugar
Yeah.
just sets the acid working, man.
Well,
That's
that's
the,
okay.
you don't have a choice on it.
I
As a matter
come,
of fact, the milk is the only part. That's the part that worked. That's
Jeff. If
actually
I
what
did it without the Oreos, I would still get the reflux.
I
I'm
got you
telling
there.
you.
Unless
You
you're like
know?
you're not allergic to milk, are you?
A little bit,
Oh
but
well,
I force it down because I love it.
I was gonna say like because that's actually the one piece of like an acid that's actually in there.
Milk?
Yeah, it's calcium carbonate.
Yeah, no, but if you do that right before you go to sleep, it's just going to sit there anyway. It's not going to actually do anything. So, and then, yeah, so now if I decide that, like, hey, man, I get a little nauseous, I need to do that at least an hour before I go to bed. And then I'm fine. No problem. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no problem.
No, you're right. You do have to. It's just smart at this point. Just because you could do it when you were younger doesn't mean that you should.
No, I know.
No, it's well. Again, this goes back to that stuff where like fucking dumb knowledge that I used to just like you people are old. Fucking shut up. Certain wisdom that my parents just gives like, well, you shouldn't be eating that before bed. It's like, oh, fuck you. Right.
There's some wisdom in that.
There's some wisdom there.
Yeah,
When
I've learned
they'd say certain things like, it's a lot to be carrying. Take 2 trips.
that. Right, yeah. No, if you put that in your locker, you wouldn't have to lug it around all day. It's like, wait a minute, you didn't check your spare tire before you left the house?
Nothing's gonna happen, dude.
Nothing's gonna happen,
never
dude.
happen.
Yeah. So just take your jacket.
Like dressing in layers, not a joke. I mean, there's a bunch of things. Like, yeah, just at that time, I can remember being. I can remember. So we talked about this the other day. We talked about like the unexpected things like walking home from school, right?
Right.
And I can remember being woefully underdressed several times on the walk home from school or the walk to school.
Hmm.
And I didn't have to be.
No,
But I could make it and I wouldn't be dying from
I'm just
hypothermia.
gonna tough it out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain resilience to the young body that you'd think it'd be more fragile, but it's virtually indestructible.
Well, I mean, minus catastrophic instantaneous failure. Yeah.
Well, then it's
From not wearing your bike helmet.
that
Yeah.
is correct. Yeah, that is that's true. It is prone to instant shutdown. That is correct. Yes.
Mm.
But you know what I'm talking about? There are certain things where you were that cold and you just kept walking. It's like, yeah,
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. You don't get sick, whatever, it's fine. But
I get sick less now than I did when I was younger. That's weird. But that's ever since I had the COVID, man. I've been kind of like somewhat immune to, the weekly, the bi-seasonal cold.
I think so.
I was thinking about the other day. It's been a minute since I've had like the flu. So I've had stomach upset, but that's different. So, but like, like hacking up a lung sick,
Let me say this.
I haven't had that in a minute, man.
I haven't had the crud, as we call it,
Yeah.
since I smoked. I did not think
Oh
those
yeah,
two things were related.
yeah, I guess I have.
They are absolutely
They're
related.
absolutely
Yes.
related. Yeah, that's true. So was I still smoking when I had COVID? No.
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 You were-
Yeah, no, I was long done. So
And you're right. And it could be at this point. When I had a bout of that, it could be that minor illnesses have come across my path from time to time, and I just saw it as like, it's just a rough morning, or
yeah.
I could have hand waved it as there are days that I said like, oh, my allergies are bothering me. That could have been
Could have been a cold.
a cold, but I've got a pretty high threshold when it comes to what a cold is now since that happened.
It's hard for me to catch a fever. So
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's
I had
hard
a
for me.
fucking crazy fever with that shit.
with COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was about a day away from going to the hospital, man, just because I couldn't breathe and I was shivering. So
It was the shivering that got me. I was breathing okay,
I could
but
not fucking breathe, man.
I mean, I'm just talking about like I can't stay conscious.
Well, yeah. I don't remember that when my bout with it. Of course, like I didn't have the brain shut down like William did.
That's
Everybody had something different, man. His is
you're right.
kind of
Yeah,
unique.
his is. I've never seen somebody go into COVID and not be able to speak the language.
That was weird.
That was completely.
That was weird, man.
Now, I have my suspicions that there were multiple things going on,
Okay.
but I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe he may have been having some certain emotional, neurological problems at that time too. Um,
It's possible.
but that's something that with that exacerbated with what was going on could have manifested in that way because it's his is the only case of that I've seen. I've never heard anybody else talk about it in that way. Like you're not gonna believe this shit.
What, you couldn't speak?
Well, it's like the wires had crossed. So like
Yeah.
it's like when he's sitting there looking at me, he's trying to say like the road turns 65 degrees, and it's just this going to whatever place was just like so he's saying it, he's believing he's saying it, but he's just kind of like banana six children,
Hut hut.
children.
Yeah. Yeah. Omaha.
Black 59
Black
razor.
59 razor. Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, it was. He did sound like he was calling audibles like nonstop. And again, I've never heard anybody else describe that as a symptom. It was insane.
I don't know, man. I haven't really asked too many people about their experiences with it. I mean, I still know, like, my brother has still never gotten it. So, which is amazing. His wife's had it like three fucking times.
Really?
Yeah, and he's
Oh
never
man.
gotten it, man. So, and then my in-laws, they did finally get it last year. So
Did they get the full version or just kind of like a?
they're all vaxxed up, so it was kind of light, you know. But I don't think that, like they went for years without, and even being exposed, because I know my sister-in-law's had it a couple times. It was in their fucking house. So, and they
There you
didn't get
go.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they finally did get it last year. I think when they were down in Arizona. So, you know. But I think my brother's the last of the Mohicans. He's the last guy that I know that has never had it. So,
Well, to be fair, I did. There were some dudes when it first came out. Well, I didn't say first came out. There were some because you remember how they were testing for that immediately. They were seeing if you'd been exposed to it because that
yeah,
was in the blood. There were dudes that I knew at the time who had been exposed but didn't get it.
that's possible. Yeah.
So it could be that your brother is one of the gifted among us, the truly lucky that they got a hit of it, and their body was like, I don't know how to deal with this.
I
It's
have
like,
no idea.
no, dude, it's fine. So you updated your drivers before this
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah. Cleared out your cookies right off
yeah,
the bat.
yeah. So it
Yeah.
came in. It's like we know how to handle this, man. It's gonna be other people's problems. So it's gonna be other people's problems that are fixing the problem like afterwards that are going to be having the issue. And yeah, because there were a couple of dudes that were talking about it. Because I remember just to talk about when this kind of thing came out to put this in perspective was the guy I was talking to about this was the dude who came and picked up my old camper when I donated it
Oh,
to
that Russian
charity.
dude.
Uh, I don't know if he was
Oh,
Russian,
I
but
thought you said he was Russian.
that's who I bought it from.
Oh,
But the
okay.
guy that took it when I donated it, this will tell you how long ago COVID was.
It's
You
been a
know,
minute, man.
yeah,
It's been 6 years. So what is it, 2025? So yeah. Oh, well, it's 5.5 years.
yeah,
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 because it was
yeah.
spring 2020 when it started getting weird. So, because we were still in fucking school up until, oh shit, maybe the next fall.
I was gonna say like,
I think it was
yeah.
fall was the semester where everybody freaked out and we had to do, or maybe it was during the summer. Because in the spring I was still teaching because I was teaching the nursing class and they were like, ah, it'll be fine.
Was it fun?
No, it was
It
not
was
fine,
not
Tim.
fun. Oh,
They
okay.
were wrong about that. I had three separate fucking full blown registered nurses, blah blah blah, DNP, yada yada yada, telling me it'll be fine. So they were wrong. But I don't think we actually closed down that spring.
The problem here is I feel like I remember it a certain way, and I don't know if that's accurate.
I've lost the timeline a little bit because I remember it started getting bad right about spring break because we were due to fly out and we decided to cancel that flight because we didn't want to get stuck where we were going. and that was about mid-March, and then
Okay.
it was a couple weeks after that when the toilet paper thing started to hit. So,
Yeah.
and then they closed the state down, but that was, I think, right at the end of the semester anyway, and so everybody got like finals week off or something.
Something like that.
And
That sounds
then
about
and
right.
then they closed down the bars and the restaurants for about, like, everybody says, "Oh my God, it was like it was like a month tops." And then, because I remember going to the yacht club over there, and they took out half the seats, and it
Yeah.
was fine. You could still drink, but it was about a month, maybe two. Maybe like we'll just split the uprights here and call it 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that was here.
Well, yeah, but that's all that I have experience with.
Right.
So I can't tell you what the fuck was going on in California or New York or wherever. Or
Right.
Florida, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. So,
Florida, I don't think they closed anything.
I don't even know, man. I don't
I think a
know.
lot of that depends on where you work. So I know that
It might have been different by municipality, let alone state.
it
Because it
absolutely
was
was.
different
Yeah.
here, because I know Denver bars were closed longer than ours
Yeah.
here, and the same thing was true with, like,
Anybody in the tri-state area was shut down for months. They were actually shut down for
yeah,
months, and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they had that agreement with each other.
What is the tri-state? That's New York and New Jersey.
And
What's the third state? Is it Pennsylvania?
No, oddly enough, it wasn't Pennsylvania. It's New York, New Jersey, and
Maryland?
you'd think it would be Pennsylvania, but I know they weren't.
I have no idea, man. Like I said, there's so much bullshit about it now that you can't. I mean, you really do have to kind of sit down and think about it, because there's been so much fucking written and blood spilled in podcastistan. For
I've
this
been there.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been there too,
yeah,
man. I've been on the killing fields of that.
yeah.
So,
Traveled through there. Their
right,
airport is
yeah,
shit.
yeah, everything's
Um,
yeah, there's
yeah.
fucking like empty ammo crates everywhere. So, but we were like, I think it was in the fall where the schools were shut. Um, and then it was in the spring where we did the social distancing at schools. So I don't think our schools were closed here for much more than a few months. It might have been just one fall, if I'm not mistaken. Um, because I remember doing a class in the spring that was both asynchronous but also had on ground, or synchronous online, but had students on ground too at the same time.
Didn't you say like one person showed up?
A couple people would show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, that's the one where we had a piece of paper on every other chair, kind of thing. Everybody had to wear masks, and there was fucking hand sanitizer everywhere. Yeah. And then I think by the next fall it was done. So
By the next fall, for sure. Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
that would have been fall of 21. I think it was done. Everything was basically back to normal, but you still had to like offer options, because you had people who were pretty regularly sick. And that was where like every company's sick policy fucking changed to
Yeah.
the point in time where it's like, well, if you even have a sniffle, don't come to work. It's like, well, I've been saying that for years, but whatever.
Bro. If anything changed, right? I hope that the thing that people learn from this is the attitudes that possibly your father, I know my father for sure had, where um, going to work
Right.
with a 2 month long cold is no longer
Is-
seen as
yeah.
a virtue.
That's not a virtue. So
I would like to hope that that's actually part of society that changed.
yeah. So it's been a while since I've heard anybody getting grief about not coming to work because they're sick. So
Well, because at this
it's
point,
been a minute.
yeah, I think I hope the actual stigma of you coming to work while you're sick. Actually, I can tell you this. I know that the time period you're talking about, one of the transitory things was if you were sick, you had to test clean before you came back
You
to
could come
work.
back. Yeah. Yep.
That's something I know was.
Yeah. And see, I didn't get COVID throughout that entire time. I didn't get a COVID until the next year when we went to Florida and I was on a cruise ship.
Oh, right.
I got
right.
and then my daughter got it first, and then she gave it to all of us. So,
Right, right.
like within a day, it was shockingly fast how sick everybody got real quick.
I got it after I got the first dose.
I got the first dose. I was fine.
Yeah.
I never got the second dose.
In
Um,
fact, I got the card over there. I can tell you exactly when I had it.
I probably still have my card too somewhere, but I never got the second dose. Well, maybe I did, but I never got like the follow up the next year. What year was it?
So I got mine. So I'm sorry, I have to take off my glasses to read this. So I got this August 30th, 2021.
Okay, so that fall. Yeah.
So that means that I caught it. That means I had it in September of 21. And I remember I was just barely getting over it when I got the second shot
hmm
on the 20th of September.
How much at my time was there between shots?
One
Just a
month.
month?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because that was the trick back then. You get the one shot, you come back a month later, you get the
Yeah,
second
you're
shot.
right. I guess I did get the second shot then.
Yeah.
I guess it was the following year when the school said, "Well, you can either get it or not get it." Then I was like, "All right, fine. I'm not going to get it this year."
Right.
So
I got no boosters, and I'm actually
that's
glad
what
for
I
that.
never got the
Um,
booster. I
Fucking
never got
smartest
the
thing in my life.
booster.
I'm glad I didn't do that. Um,
Oh, my brother's had all of them. He's never gotten it. So I don't know, man. He has to for his job, though. It still
oh,
makes
that's non-negotiable, huh?
fuck no,
There you go. All
not
right.
even a little. No, I mean he's not military, but he's damn close, and they can tell him what to do.
Well, you have to follow their guidelines, right? It's the same
I
sort
think
of.
his are actually more strict based upon his clearance. So
Right.
he's almost like, those guys that they send to Africa where they get a shopping cart full of shots before you go. And if you don't take them, you don't go.
Uh, yeah, I saw my dad's shot record, man. It looks.
My dad went to Desert Storm. His was pretty impressive.
I'm gonna say, man. Yeah. So he went to Desert Storm. My dad was in different parts of Asia.
He was in different parts of
Uh,
Asia.
so yeah, I saw the. He showed it to me once. Actually, showed it to me a few times, and it's pretty impressive. There's a lot of stamps in there,
There's a
just
lot
like
of
your
stamps in
dad's.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he didn't. That was the thing. He didn't. He did not give me the impression that any of that was voluntary.
Oh, none of it. Yeah, no.
I don't even think they gave him that option of like, well, if you don't do it, these are the consequences. I think it was just like, go do it.
See, that's the one thing that I didn't get about the COVID shot. The COVID shot was way more innocuous than about 90% of those other fucking things that they took.
You know what? Okay,
So,
here's
and it was kind of like, all right, like, they drummed a whole bunch of guys out of the Navy. I was like, well, I know you've already had all these shots, bro. I mean, why is this one a big deal? I mean, some of the stuff that you take is basically you have to sign waivers for that shit.
this. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. This is like the stuff that they don't. This is the stuff where they paint it in one way and they say like, yes, this is a problem, and you know what? They're right. When it comes down to it, and they went through the list of like, look, this is from the Spanish flu, right? This goes from here. It's like these are how many vaccines that came out, and this is how many were recalled and stopped because of this many diseases, fatalities,
Mhm.
whatever, right? So there have been a lot that have been pulled, right?
Oh yeah.
With far smaller consequences, right? Now, that being said, I'd like to think that we're inching towards civility, where we have less tolerances. So, like, say for example, if I were to go back to say Spanish flu times or whatever, we said like, well, this kills 1 out of every 30 people. I'd say like, how many does it save?
What?
If they came to me and they said the consequences of this
Oh,
vaccine were it kills 1 out of every 30 people, I'd say, well, okay, well, how many does it save?
yeah. You'd have to know that.
They'd say, well, 29. Like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
all right. Yep.
I'd roll the dice and say, like, all right, um, if I die, then theoretically that means 29 other people are going to be safe. That's not how the odds work,
Yeah, that's not how that math works.
but
So,
I would say those are pretty good
one out of
odds.
29 would be pretty fucking. 1 out of 30 would be pretty fucking awful.
That's
So yeah,
yes.
that'd be pretty fucking awful.
But at the time, if I were watching people drop off like
Oh yeah,
fucking crazy, I'd be like, "Give it to me."
yeah. I mean, dude, like back then, I mean, Spanish flu is what 1918, 1919.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be like the only shot you ever got. You know? And I don't even think they had shots for that at the
right.
time. I mean, the whole thing was, well, don't travel. And so, because none of you motherfuckers leave this town anyway, okay? And half of you live like out in the boonies.
Right.
So just stay away from
Stay
town.
away from there. Yeah.
The people who get sick, they get sick, they get better. When they get better, they don't give it to you. So be cool, kind of thing.
It's just not how it works.
Well, not today, man.
No.
No, people are like, fuck that. I want to go to the game this weekend. You know? And it's like, all right. So, in the stadium with 72,000 people who come from multiple states, great. This is why I'm not an epidemiologist, man. I would have very dim view of humanity. So, because quite honestly, like it's gonna if it happens again, it's gonna go the same way, dude. Because what I remember most about COVID is the fucking panic during that summer. Where
Well, you brought up the toilet paper panic of fucking.
well, that resolved itself within a few weeks. All right, so it wasn't like we were out of toilet shit tickets for 2 fucking years. Okay,
You're correct, but
it was pretty quick. But oh my god, did people fucking lose their minds over that shit? Let alone the rest of the summer. Let alone the following year, where like the shots were trickling their way from the nursing homes to the general population. And like
yeah,
there is no possibility that anybody would have any answers at that point because you didn't even have time to do any kind of clinical trial. So
oh, not even close.
not
And
even close.
the one place that we could have observed to see how things were being done,
Hmm.
they'd closed off and lied about.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So I mean, well, to be fair, they wouldn't let us in there anyway,
That is correct.
because it was all pangolins and stuff. But I mean, it was like I don't know, man. So you follow Scott Adams, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I'm glad he's getting over his cancer now, so which is good. But he's got that
yeah. He
got
thought he was done.
yeah, I know, but he was like, fuck yeah, cancer free, baby. So, but anyway, so he's got that great law of slow moving disasters. And he says that Americans are extremely good at avoiding slow moving disasters, you know? So we see him coming from a while away, and we say, is that a big deal? No, no, it's not a big deal. It's okay. It'll be all right, kind of thing. It's like, well, maybe we'll chip away at it a little bit, over the next 20 years. It'll be fine. But we fucking suck at like 10-minute disasters. We're terrible at it, dude. So, I mean, and we've witnessed two doozy ones now in our lifetime. Okay. So, one being COVID, which I think was like one of these things that once, I mean, you saw it almost immediately, but I mean, once we got a little bit halfway through it, it's like, okay, come on, man. Chill the fuck out, calm down, people, kind of thing. The other one was 9/11. Nobody was cool after that. And so we absolutely suck at that. That is a feature, not a bug, man. You know.
Well, you're right. Well, and this is, we've talked about this, yes, as a feature. There is something to be said about we do have safeguards in place, many safeguards that are extremely frustrating, to tell you the truth, when it comes to actually affecting positive social reform, right? But at the same time, there are many things in place to say, you guys do not handle rash
Did
decisions
not do that very well.
very well. Okay, you just don't,
Yeah.
right? So we've set the scene. Look, if we had basically the good sense to be able to say like, all right, something happened. Take 5 minutes and decide if this is something that dad is going to handle or mom is going to handle.
This is not a count to 10 kind of country, man. It never has been.
No. Well, that's the thing. Here's the problem: is
man.
we wouldn't be a country if we were a count to 10 kind of people.
No,
that's
true.
That's
We'll
absolutely
still be
true.
part of England.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because our count to 10 people say like, this will sort itself out.
So we'll be like, it's okay. We'll get a new king eventually.
Yeah.
That one will die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Human last.
Fucking throw it in the harbor right now. It's like they did what in Washington? Firearm Fort Sumter right now.
is this a joke? It's like, no,
No, no,
no,
no, no,
no.
no. Yeah,
You should see what that guy's fucking writing over there, dude. He is
this is
pissed.
bullshit.
He
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pissed, and people are getting worked up over it. Yeah, you're right. The same thing goes with. We have that debate. We have that component of like, all right, so when does civil disobedience kick in? When does this? We have a lot of things that go into that kind of thing to move things slowly, right? But yeah, once we get into that thing where like 9/11, it's like, oh shit, this is a dad issue, and dad's like, it's a question of honor, guys. I got to go kick his ass. I have no choice,
Right.
right? It's basically like it's. There comes a time where if you're dad, okay, and your 19-year-old daughter is in a relationship with a guy, all right, and they're both adults, but if it turns out that her boyfriend kind of slaps her around a little
No,
bit,
this is a dad issue.
that's a dad issue
Yeah.
because dad is the guy where it's like, look, I know I'm supposed to just call the police, um, but I got to go handle this. And even mom is going to say like, go handle it, Jim.
Probably.
Right now, does that mean that you're going to have consequences? Yes, and you're going to be like,
Yeah, because I'm going to shoot that guy, which means
well,
I'm going to jail.
you don't necessarily have to shoot him.
Jeff,
but
that's all I got, man.
Okay,
So
well, that's
I'm
what
going to fucking shoot.
Okay, you're going to shoot him. There could be other guys that go and get their fucking knuckles bruised up, or
No, I'm going to shoot him.
Okay, totally fine. I'm all right with that, right? But there's a lot of guys where it's like, all right, so we're going to have to deal with bail. We're going to have to deal with this, right? You don't think about that right now, but it's like, dad's got to settle this. But there are other times when it's like, all right, so how do we mom this out with this cold thing, right? Think this out.
Mm-hmm.
Try to think rationally. See what happens. But yeah, we're a kind of weird, like kind of millipede by nature, right? You want the legs moving in separate directions because that's actually what makes it compete, which is actually smart. It actually makes things better 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Because if you look at, say, for example, all right, I don't know if you've been paying any attention to China's woes lately, but they could be.
No.
There's a theory that they've actually sort of like boxed and they've restricted Xi's travel at this point. The
Xi Jinping.
Yes. There's a number of
I thought
things.
he was going to this Asian thing next week. I guess we'll see. Huh?
We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
It is next week, right?
There are a number of crazy things that are going on right now. But they have that authority to basically intercede now.
So who is they?
The Chinese. The Chinese, like when
like the party?
Yes.
So they're telling him not what he can do.
Supposedly.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Supposedly, they already have their new regime picked.
Well, that'll be interesting if that actually happens.
But that's just talk. But
yeah, I've seen a lot of that, so I'm kind of.
In terms of their realm of control, when it comes to like, say for example, I was there the moment where everybody was making mint, tutoring there.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Within a day,
yep,
that was done.
Yeah, they
done.
They murdered that off real fast.
That shit doesn't fly here.
I remember when they offered you like exclusive access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And dude, there were like,
God, that was why. That's got to be like 3 or 4 years. 3 years.
It was about 4.
It's been a minute. So
it's about 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. Yeah, right around that time period.
COVID?
No, it feels like it was.
I don't know, man. All the timelines.
It's close to that because that area,
right.
because that's around COVID is when I stopped working for Baker.
That's right.
That's when I got laid off from them.
Yeah.
Will stayed on a little bit longer. Will was there at Baker during COVID because I remember he sent me pictures from the. He sent me pictures from the grocery stores near the sites where he was working.
Oh.
And he's showing me like the meat aisle, right? And you look, it's not completely empty, right?
Close, though.
You go over there and there's still like some gizzards.
Some cutlets.
Yeah, there's like some gizzards, there's some cutlets, there's like
someone left some feet.
I was saying there's some feet. I mean, I remember at the time, I think I told you this trick was when meat was cleared out, I would go to the deli aisle and I would buy 2 rotisserie chickens.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And just shred those up there for the week, right? But he was there at that time. He was sending me those pictures.
Mm.
So I remember that's around
Yeah,
that
so it's
period.
after COVID then.
But it's right around there when the Chinese say, "Hey, this shit's going to stop." There's too much possibility of basically outside influence coming in. We can't watch it. All this is done.
Yeah, yeah.
And those companies over there that were making money doing this, they were like,
They got shuttered.
"You can't do that." They're
Yeah,
like,
and they were like, yeah,
"Yeah,
we can.
yeah, we sure can," and they did.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that yes, you have the authority to go in there and, uh, well, we've made this decision, so it's stay home. It's like, okay, stay home. We're going to weld you inside because that happened.
That happened. Not in all cities, but in some.
No,
Yeah.
but if you're
See,
talking
they're
about
kind
that
of the
happening
opposite of
here,
America, man. They're better at
exactly
like, they're terrible at slow moving
the
disasters.
worst.
Yeah, because they just jank around, like all the time. And so who knows, man? Like I haven't read up too much on China lately, man. So I did do some reading on like rare earths and that's like a complete fucking nothing burger, man. So
That's going to solve itself.
if you just look into it for about 10 minutes, you start to realize that it's like, oh wait, everybody's talking about this, doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. So,
There's this, yeah. The more I studied this, and I think this is probably what you saw here was all right. So again, we both know it's not been a question of scarcity.
nope.
We know where it is.
Yep.
We know people that there's two places that are happy to give it to us. One is Pakistan.
Yep.
The other is Australia.
Australia.
Is like, hey
Apparently
guys,
it's loaded with them. So,
loaded
yeah,
with
loaded
them.
with them.
The only question here is, do you have the facilities to process them or not? Right. And
Right.
right now, China does have almost all of them.
Well, and that's because they built a shitload of them.
That's
and then
correct.
they come in and they undercut anybody else who's trying to build them. And so, but apparently the process isn't really that difficult.
It's not.
It's not
science.
even really that dirty. So it's not something you exactly want in your backyard. But here in the United States, we already have 3 of these plants. So, I mean, and they're in like fucking middle of nowhere, Nevada, kind of thing. So it's like,
which is genuinely.
but then the other thing
85% of
is
that
you
state.
don't need a lot of it to actually satisfy the demand. So it's kind of surprising, like it was like, oh, okay, so you use these to build these special magnets. Got it.
Correct.
Okay, so how many of those are in a cell phone? A lot. All right, but by weight, not a lot. Almost nothing. Yeah.
That's because that's the other piece is they said like, all right, well, how can we make up the difference between then and now, between when everything gets up and running to manufacture new ones? Well, there are other countries that say like, well, we actually do reclamation.
Yeah, exactly.
And have been doing this for a while. Do you want to get involved in this?
Yeah.
It'll cost you a little bit more because it kills a lot of our children to do it, but we're willing to take that risk.
We're willing to take that risk. Yeah. So yeah, all you had to do was poke into that for about 10 minutes, and you realize it's like, oh god, come on, man. So
well, it was because you saw this too, where when that happened, the stock market tanked for about 14 hours while people sorted out the truth. People saw when China did that and said, oh my God, the U.S. and the rest of the world is done.
But see, here's the thing, is it didn't even really tank. I mean...
Well, it went like this for a minute.
Not even that. It's like, I mean, if you look at it for a month, it looks like
right. Yes, exactly.
But if you look at it for like 6 months, it's like...
What?
It's just like... and everybody's like, oh my God! Burn. And it's like... Guys, zoom the graph out a little bit, man.
I know. You and I both know this. You and I both know that there's an undercurrent of people, and I think they're right to feel this way. There's something about the way things are changing that they're looking for the thing that is going to rattle this thing to pieces, right?
The stock market?
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are like, whatever bubble they're looking for, they're going to say it's like it's housing. It's going to say it's AI. It's going to be like
housing's proving to be a slow-moving disaster. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I
think that one's got to resolve itself.
It'll be absolutely fine.
Like there's a lever here that people are walking on. And
I don't even think you need to pull the lever, man. You just need to sit and watch. It'll be fine.
They talk about that thing where Amazon announced that it was either today or yesterday where they're planning to lay off 500,000 employees.
500,000?
500,000.
I don't even think they had like 1 million working for them.
They have. So I think they have it's close to like 700,000. They're going to lay off 500,000.
How?
Basically automating everything.
Okay. I mean, like delivery? Because
That I don't
that's
know.
where probably 85%
Well,
of
no,
their
the
employees are.
processing is where a lot of their
A
employees
lot
are.
of that's already automated, man. So,
Not enough,
yeah, I
according to
guess. But
them.
that's
But
okay. I mean, so first and foremost, I've known a lot of people like over the years who work in the distribution center down there ever since they built it. And the turnover is horrendous. So, within those places.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, people they'll basically hire anybody off the street. And you make pretty good money to start. It's like over $20 an hour
Yeah,
to start. And the thing is like, all right, so if you're good at it and if you're willing to do the work, they got way better jobs for you right behind that one.
there you go.
So yeah,
Yeah,
and so people either move up or they, like after 3 days are like, fuck this, and then out. So that's a job that actually makes sense if it's the sorting centers. I didn't think they had that many
exactly. Yeah.
employees though. So I know Walmart's got like 2 million or something like that. Actually technically the biggest employer in the United States. Amazon wasn't too far behind them. So
No, but yeah, that was the thing was they said, look, we got this figured out here. We can lay off about 500,000 people, and
that's what they'll
that's
do.
fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. Because one of the things I also know here is that the this is no joke. The amount of companies that are actually investing in the United States
That's a
compared,
lot.
it's a
That's a
ton.
lot.
Things are changing, man.
Well, and a lot of that just has to do with like the fact that other places that used to be really good to invest in are fucked up now. So you used to take your money over to China. Can't do it no more, man. You can't get it out. So you take money to Russia. Same problem.
Right. Yeah.
You take money down to Brazil. Oh, I'm sorry. Their political system's more divided than ours is.
Jesus Christ.
Nice
Yeah.
accomplishment there, guys. So same thing as Argentina. It's like, oh wait, we got to bail you out too. Cool. So apparently, libertarian economics doesn't always work, eh?
Works until it doesn't.
It works until it doesn't. It always results in some kind of catastrophic failure. It's like, wait a minute, this ain't got no gas in it. It's like, wait a minute, we didn't think of that before. No, we didn't think of that. So it just encourages capital flight, and so all the rich people leave, huh? Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing is that there was enough time in that fuckery for them to ruin Canada. Um,
Canada's got its own problems. India's got its own problems. I mean,
oh yeah.
India's still good, but man, they've never really changed their bureaucracy there. And
No.
so I've known people who are like, I'll do business there if I must, kind of thing. Yeah. So, I can make money there, but like all the other ones are just absolutely fucksorted right now, man.
Yes.
So, and that's kind of interesting, man. I mean, like even Mexico is looking like a great place to put money now. So compared to where it was like just 10 years ago.
Well, Mexico
Um,
wants to make some pretty serious reforms on our based off of our decision.
I don't really know that much about it, man. So my understanding is that like basically they're our adopted little brother down there, and we're doing fine. So, but compared to like other places, because your migration patterns they weren't coming from Mexico. Mexico is like basically turning itself into a middle class country with an extremely hard edge of narco terrorism.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know exactly. Like, if you lived in Mexico, how much does that actually affect your life? You know?
My understanding is it depends where in Mexico you live.
Yeah, exactly. And so but that makes it no different than America. I mean, you don't really give two fucks about homelessness unless you live in fucking, the Tenderloin or fucking downtown LA or something.
Tenderloin's not that bad.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know my neighborhoods there that much. So, but regardless of that, here you go, man. I mean, there's definitely some elements, and so I'm curious, man. I honestly don't know that many Mexicans anymore. I used to know a bunch more, but most of the people that I know who are from south of the border now are from further south. So,
Right. Right.
they come from places like Colombia, which is basically like a normal country. So,
It is now.
yeah, exactly. So,
You know what they discovered?
Mm.
If you take the criminals
Mhm.
and incarcerate the criminals,
Yeah,
more criminals do not really spawn.
No.
Like you'll get some that'll
Right.
see like I'm going to do this,
Right.
right?
Right.
But you catch them easier because they're
They're
not.
not as good. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not as good, and the number actually stays down. Their problem right now is much like much like the fucking like I don't know. We talk about the EPA guy from like Ghostbusters and like shutting down the containment system was
Dickless.
a that was a mistake. But with it, so as of right now, like Colombia's biggest problem is like we don't have enough containment space, right?
Oh,
That's their biggest issue, right?
I
And
don't know that much about it.
well, so their biggest increase in crime, and this should be a shocker to no one, has been inside the prison
Oh,
crime,
yeah.
right? That's been the sharpest rise in violence, which is
In Colombia?
yeah,
Oh,
the sharpest rise. Well, and it makes sense. I mean, that's the thing is when you take whatever psychopaths did this, I don't know. It seemed to happen a lot in our neighborhood. It's fine. Was you take a whole bunch of bugs, you shove them in the jar, and you see like, oh, what's going to happen, right?
yeah.
And that's the thing is you look at it and it sort of like balances itself out for a little bit, and then you shake it, right? And when you just keep cramming more and more bugs in there, they will fight.
Yeah, eventually.
They're gonna, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you take hostile bugs and put them in there. Now that's a stupid thing to do in the first place.
Yeah.
I knew people that's like, how the fuck did you get a black widow in here?
How'd you get a wasp in here, man?
Yeah, it's like, did you trank it? Like how exactly? How did you catch this and put it in here? Right?
Actually, black widows aren't hostile.
I ain't picking it up and
No,
putting
I
it in
ain't
there.
picking them up
Are you
either.
fucking
But
crazy?
yeah, they won't bite you unless you step on them. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's their biggest problem. But yeah, they've been. There's a couple of places that have figured that out here. It's like, look, I know that we have sort of this. We've got these things. We have these tenets, and we talk about like crime, rehabilitation, and all that other stuff. Yeah, we went through that for like 40 years.
Yeah, we kind of stopped doing that about 10 years ago. So, I mean, there's some parts. I mean, here it's 50 different experiments. So,
Correct.
each
Yeah,
state's a
that's
little
the
bit
caterpillar
different.
that we live with. Yeah.
But it's been kind of sorted out, man. I mean, like, everybody knows that prison's not a place you want to go to in the United States.
Correct.
So, they've known that for decades now. Yeah, you'll find some weird jurisdictions here and there who let a whole bunch of lunatics loose, and then they show up back at your
Yes.
courthouse the next night. So, yeah, well, that's okay, man. You live here, not me. So it's your problem.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So eventually you'll figure it out. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. So crime statistics are pretty much down just about everywhere. I saw this one that blew my mind the other day on X, and I was like, "What? That can't be fucking true." So, but you go in and you start looking at some of the data, it's fucking true. So the murder rate in London is the lowest it's ever been, and I was like, "That doesn't make sense," but it's true.
Right.
Yeah.
But what are the things that are up?
Oh, I have no idea. So that was the only thing that I saw. There's like the problems with like any kind of crimes. There's only two types of crimes that you can track with a lot of accuracy. Murder's one of them. Do you know what the other one is?
Oh, let me think about it.
Yeah, once I heard it, it was like, oh, that makes fucking
Is it a
sense.
violent crime?
No, it's not a violent crime. It's actually used as a proxy for all other forms of property crime,
Oh, property crime.
hmm
Oh,
which is basically your second tier of felonies.
oh, interesting. What is it?
Car theft,
Oh,
because the insurance,
okay. That makes sense.
and they're down everywhere. So,
Okay, so homicide, yes, that is down in London, but that's this is the thing. This is the big misconception here, right? Is they like to separate homicide from violent crime
in England,
everywhere. Everywhere. Because those two things, yes, you're right. Homicide is down in most places. Even in the United States where we look at our crime areas,
oh, it's
right?
way down in the United States.
In a
So,
lot of it, yeah. There
well,
are
we had a
places where
huge spike in one particular year. So,
that is true.
Yeah, and so your data there is a little sus if people are saying, "Oh, it's down by 40%." It's like from 2019.
Yeah. So, and this is where things start to become really problematic.
Or are you
So,
saying from 2021? Because those are two different years. You
right.
know? That's called a chart foul.
Okay. So, what I will tell you is, and this I had to go do some serious digging on, because sources try to bury this sort of information, right? That when you go into something and it wants to automatically offset it and say like there is no migrant crisis. I'm like, okay, no, 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 hold on, hold
In the
on.
U.S.?
In the UK,
Oh, yeah.
specifically, I was looking at two places, Sweden and the UK. Right now, a lot of the articles I was reading are saying there's no migrant crisis, and specifically because they're citing the homicide rate. Okay, now there's two big chart violations, like you were talking about, that were extremely problematic. Okay,
Hmm.
so the influx of asylum seekers and refugees from Muslim countries,
Hmm.
right, in the in Europe really started hitting about 15 years ago.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you look at, and I'm going to start with reported rapes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. What do we call those? Grapes?
Grapes. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, that's true. So we were talking about grapes and unaliving.
Right. The
Unaliving.
child molesters.
Yep. PDF files. That's right.
PDF,
Yeah.
that's right. PDF
Um,
files. Sorry, the child M. Lester is the one I saw.
say that again.
So it's child and then M. Dot Lester.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. No, it's if you take it even a little bit back in time, that is when people used to talk about CP. They'd call it like cheese pizza or Captain Picard. Um, it was like that dude got busted for having Captain Picard on his computer,
Got
right?
it. Oh,
Um,
Captain Picard.
yep, or cheese pizza, yes. Um, because you didn't even want to. The thing was at the time you didn't even want to say the words
You don't want
because
those
that's the
even next to each other in the
correct,
same sentence, man.
right.
So you got demonetized so fucking
Well, it
fast.
wasn't about demonetizing. It was
It's just
about
getting
I don't
down.
want the
Yeah.
FBI to see anything I've written that contains those two words next to each other.
Yeah, I'm sure they figured that out in about 10 minutes.
Uh,
So, but anyway.
but anyway, if you go to reported rapes from the time that the basically the Muslim influx
How
happened.
long has that been going on? I
Again,
just don't know that much about this.
all
So,
right, this is where I tore into it. Again, this started about 15 years ago,
so what
right?
was going on in the Middle East 15 years ago? Is it Syria?
Yeah,
Okay. Was that the fake bombing and tear gas, mustard gas, or whatever?
that was part of it. I mean, there was a
Is
lot.
this where we saw like pictures of those migrant in the boat and the dead kid? And was that long ago?
It was that long ago. Now,
Fucking A, man.
it's only increased since then, right? But that was the last big influx of basically that was the time of essentially we're starting the unfettered, no questions asked, come into Europe, find a safe
Now, how
place.
many countries were okay with that?
Well, it started in Germany. I
It
know that was
started in
that
Germany.
was the place where it started. Then it moved into France and the UK pretty quickly.
My understanding is that they just go to the UK because it's one of the few. It's like you don't need to learn a new language there typically.
Oh no,
Yeah, because like
or France or Germany. France already had a large number of Muslims from
yeah, but they
Turkey.
spoke French, so yeah, and the same thing with Morocco. I mean, they speak French there,
Well,
so
that's true, but I mean, in terms of like finding other, basically, Islamic speakers.
well, Islam isn't a language, Jeff.
No, it's Arabic. It's yes, I know.
Well, I mean, there's like nine different versions of it. So if you live in Syria, you don't speak the same language as the people in Saudi Arabia.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. But yes, you do find communities of speakers that you don't have to learn the native language.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so in the UK from that time period, the amount of reported rapes, okay, this is just reports, jumped 351%.
Yeah, I've seen those reports. So,
Okay.
or claims to that. So, I don't know, man. It's really hard to track down because, like, when I just poked my nose into this a little bit, maybe like a week ago or something. But like the way they report crime statistics in England is weird.
Well, there's two components to it, right? Because that particular piece, this is where I had to dive into it a little bit deeper, is all right, that is just reports. Okay. They have a notoriously low conviction rate.
Right. Yeah.
And it is about 1 to 2%.
Geez, that's bad. What is it
Terrible.
here?
I think it's pretty bad, but I feel like it's greater than
I always
fucking
thought that rape
1%,
was like
man.
the hardest one to actually prove. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard that.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the tricky part here is, yeah, so you're talking about a lot of times something that is the only witnesses are,
Well, there's two.
yes,
Yeah.
right. Um,
Yeah.
so uh, when it comes down to the actual convictions and it comes down to who has actually been convicted, it is significantly imbalanced in terms of locals versus
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
plants, right? And so that was the same thing where they looked at Sweden. They said like, all right, so it's not just that we have. It wasn't like the full homicide rate, although that had gone up substantially too. Was that Somali gangs at that point had driven all of their statistics through the roof.
Yeah.
Now, what people kept trying to do, right, was they kept trying to say like, well, it's not when you take this in conjunction with the whole and you blend it with all the statistics, it doesn't look that bad, right? But then when you look at it and say, like, okay, but of these groups,
Well, you do it by zip code. If they all live in the same spot, you should be able to see.
that's sort of kind of
Whatever
what
they
people,
whatever they call a zip code in
what
Sweden.
you were talking about essentially was they were chart fouling all over the place. It was
So
trying
you
to,
always need to do it by location.
how much of this can we take and move into a bigger bucket to make it look like it's not as bad as it is,
Yeah.
right? And when you chased it down, it's like that's all they've been doing. And so the conclusion by like you'd go to places, you go like the Guardian, they would write articles and say like there is no migrant problem here. It's like actually when you look at the numbers, there's a huge fucking problem.
And that thing is not worth your time, man. So
No, but then again, I also know that
I,
the contradictory things that you can read are just as bad of rags.
oh, in England, yeah.
Right? If I'm going to go read the mail, I know what I'm getting.
I don't know anything about the landscape for newspapers in Europe in general, but I know that the English papers are all basically garbage.
So what
They kind of are, man. So,
I would argue they have a lot of the same problem here is there is not enough middle ground newspaper.
but there's no market for it here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And there's no
there's no
market for it there.
market. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, you start a middle ground newspaper, you might as well pile up all your money and light it on fire.
You're doing it because it's something you feel like is a service and you're willing to torch your family's money.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's
Right.
like we need to build that bowling alley right next to the other one because this one sucks.
That's correct. But yes, that is that essentially it's undeniable. Where yes, this is particularly problematic. Homicides, but violent crime. That's the thing. Is it's in the same token. This is the same bullshit you've heard a million times over here, right? I did the dive on this here too. Um, when people talk about and they say like, what states have the highest per capita violence and murder rates?
Here in the United States,
Yeah,
per
red or
capita,
blue? Is it red states or blue states that have the highest per
it's
capita?
probably blue states.
Nope,
Really?
it's always red states.
Why?
Well, because Patrick. So here's the trick. This
Well,
is where the
per capita?
yep.
Yeah, okay. I guess, yeah, you probably see that in Mississippi or Wyoming because you get one, it counts like for 10 that you get in Chicago. I see how the math works.
Well, okay. So now you're starting to get it, and it all comes down to like, where are the majority of these violent crimes happening?
Oh, large cities.
Correct. And
Yeah.
so if you break it down and say,
As an absolute number, yes. As a rate, no. Yeah.
well, here's how that actually breaks down, right? Okay, so again, did this math the other day. Um, of the states, right, with the highest, okay, those states with the highest, essentially like murder rates, violent crime rates. Okay,
Hmm.
19 of them happen in red states. Okay,
Wait, states?
yes, yes, but
I'm not tracking.
all right. So when they always say like the most violent crime per capita happens in red states,
Yeah, that's not true. Well,
well,
I mean, it is true,
it
but
is true.
it's true. You just have to interpret it correctly. They're interpreting it wrong. What they're saying is that it's more dangerous to live in a red state than a blue state, and that's not true, right?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah,
But when it comes down to it,
that's a
right?
stats foul.
Of course it is. Why? Because it all comes
This is
from their
driving
largest
their
city.
narrative. Yeah.
Well, it all becomes from their largest city, which in those cases, okay, 19 of those cities, right, were Democrat run.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and I believe it was
If you take the
four
20,
Republican and one independent.
yeah, if you take the top
Yeah,
25 largest cities in the country, 22 of them are going to be fucking Democrat run.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So
So
they take to zoom it out and say like, oh, okay, but it's a red state, so the red state is what's
yeah,
dangerous.
that's
I
a
know.
silly narrative.
Well, no, but I get it, but that's what they pass. Much like those ADL numbers, where they talk about
Hmm.
that the
The butt to mouth statistics.
correct,
Yeah.
it's that one that gets passed off as fact.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm wise to it, so whatever.
I
Yeah,
understand. I
yeah,
understand.
I'm wise to it.
But again,
I know
this
what
is
you're
just
trying to
this.
do there, buddy.
I get it.
So
A
you
lot of
you
people
you
don't.
Mr.
A lot
Writer
of
for the
people.
Atlantic. Yay.
Again, I'm just saying this because a lot of people like to cite this. When you go ahead and take down the data, this is where it goes.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's so. I mean, there's some things that are true that are inconvenient for regardless of what side of the political fence you're on. So your instances of OD is way fucking higher in like rural Kentucky than it is in fucking Atlanta. Way higher. So, and death from that is way higher too. And then a lot of that has to do with emergency response taking so much longer.
That makes
So
sense.
totally,
Yeah.
but I mean that if you want to take a look at places that are absolutely overrun with poverty, welfare, because that those statistics came out the other day, and that was a little embarrassing for like Kentucky.
I don't think it's something Kentuckians are really not used to.
Well, exactly. So, but it was specifically related to SNAP beneficiaries per capita. So, which apparently Puerto Rico, we should just cut that thing loose, man. But
It should,
I don't know
you're
what the
not
deal
kidding.
with that is. I don't know enough about Puerto. I've known plenty of Puerto Ricans. I've known very few of them who actually want to go back there. So, other than to visit family.
It's funny you
So,
say that. I've known quite a few Puerto Ricans. They always say, "I love that place. Never want to go back."
yeah, exactly. I hear that. I've
It's
heard
the
that a lot too.
weirdest thing.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd like to go to it someday. It's a big place where your passport doesn't need to be up to date.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we broke it. We bought it.
Why did we want it in the first place?
That was Teddy Roosevelt, man. He was big on that stuff back then. He wanted the fucking Philippines while he was at it. So, and then there was like a 20-year war there that we didn't win. So he's like, never mind.
We didn't really lose it though. I mean,
No,
like,
it just kind of kept going. Yeah.
well, you do need to just kind of cut your losses after a while.
Eventually, we came together with the Sandinistas or whoever they were.
Right. This is sort of like
And said,
America's
hey,
Ukraine.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
He said, hey, we're going to be cool. We're going to build a fort down here in Manila. Are you guys cool with that? We're going to leave the rest of it alone. We're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's be cool. So then we were cool. So sort of. And then the Japanese invaded them, and we took it back, and they were really cool with that.
Right.
Because the Japanese were truly awful people.
People just don't know.
People just don't know, man.
There's a component to it. It's like, yeah, but you kept them in camps. They're like, yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
Got it. All right,
However,
let's. I can't let that just sit in a vacuum.
yeah, no. So, but like, yeah. Um, Yeah, so I mean, like that's an inconvenient kind of truth there. The crime statistics are basically fucking, I mean, they're basically flat if you actually control for income as opposed towards anything else, whether urban, suburban, rural, whatever. If you actually just take a look at how fucking poor people are. You can predict pretty
Mm,
clearly exactly how much crime is going to be in that neighborhood. Maybe not violent crime, so your flavor of crime changes a little bit. So,
well, the one problematic thing is that yes, regardless of income,
mhm.
African Americans do commit fouls at.
African American males specifically.
Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not true.
Okay.
It turns out that actually African American females are still a higher.
Well, yeah, but not committing the same, not at the same rate as
No,
males.
no,
Yeah,
no, correct,
yeah.
correct.
Okay.
But they are still basically they outclass. This is kind of like where,
Well, that would make sense, because you have concentrations of them in the same areas. So
but yeah, regardless of income, it's still
I
always
don't think
higher.
race is actually the driver behind the crime, though.
Well, regardless of income,
Yeah,
it's still like significantly higher.
there's got to be some other explanation to it. It's not just based upon the color of your skin.
It's not based off the color of your skin.
Right.
It's based off the community that you keep.
Correct. And so that's why if you control by either, like, zip code is your best one still, but that captures both of those pieces of information and you can't separate them. So
Correct.
it's actually impossible to do that. You know,
To argue that there's not a culture problem would be a lie.
well, yeah,
That's
no, and I
yeah.
mean, a lot of people from the black community argue that and have been for, I mean, Thomas Sowell's been doing it for 50 fucking years.
And he's been
So,
called every name in the book.
including like world class economists who's actually never won the Nobel Prize, which is kind of amazing. So,
Fascinating, isn't it? Yeah,
not
it's just,
really, not really. So, you know, it's weird.
I agree.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird enough to the point where it hasn't made it meaningless, but there is a point where you guys really have a target group that you consider for this.
It's people who agree with them.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think and we figured that out when they gave it to Barack Obama before he was even inaugurated. I think everybody's been wise to it ever since then. Let's see if they actually give it to Donald Trump next year. That'd be fascinating. So,
Well, that's the thing is they made the argument. They said something to the point is like we wouldn't.
did they say that?
Yeah,
I thought they didn't actually comment on that.
it did.
Oh, okay.
It did.
Was it just like one of the people on it commented on that, or because you're not even supposed to know who the judges are?
You're
So,
not.
yeah.
I will have to try and find that for you. But yeah, there was something to the tune of he does not represent what we represent.
Okay. Well,
Which, fair enough. I mean,
it's a
this is.
private prize, whatever.
I get it. I mean,
Just
it's.
like the Pulitzer, they'll give it to whoever they like the most.
Yeah, that's
And they've been doing that for a long
Jesus,
time, man.
man.
Yeah.
That is a. I don't want to say it's a useless award. It's cool that you have it, but man, that shit is weak. But yeah, it's a good point. But yeah, to the point where the girl who received it, she's like, "This belongs to Donald Trump."
She's interesting, man. I actually did a little reading on her. So, yeah. We'll see. We might get in a war with Venezuela here, which would be fun. So,
We might fuck them.
I don't know. I don't want another Vietnam jungle war.
Nor do I.
No, 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 no. Blow up the little boats, call it good. Don't put any boots on the ground, dude.
I'm fine with that. I have no problem with those boats getting blown up.
Yeah, they're fine. We all know what's on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. And I'm not going to flip around and say like, "All right, well, these were the 570 times where I said it was okay for a president to drone strike without, you know, proper."
See, the cat's out of the bag. Fuck it.
Like,
I
fuck
guess
it,
that's
dude.
just apparently something our president can do from now.
Because we all said it was okay when he did it. And I didn't even lift a finger. I was like, all right, well, if you have a pretty good notion that it's a bad guy, go ahead.
Go ahead, drone it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that guy did win that prize.
That was before he got the drone button. So yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's
see,
like,
that was kind of weird, man. He was
yeah.
like, "Well, now I got this, so I might as well use the drone."
And there's a to that end, there's a component where I understand the prize in the sense where, look, if the whole perspective on this is essentially the anti George W. Bush award.
It might be.
Which I get because it's like, well, this man has known nothing but war for a very long time.
8.5 years of an 7.5 years of a 9 year of an 8 year presidency. Yeah.
Yes. So if that's basically the approach of that's what you're taking, all right, fine, I got you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would deny that George made some pretty bad mistakes. So
Well,
I don't really think you can beat around that one.
no.
Yeah.
The only question is, would I have done differently in his shoes? But here's the problem:
Yeah, unknowable.
I'm not the
I'm
president.
not the president. Yeah,
They're supposed to know and do things a little bit differently than your average guy,
right.
because your average guy is like, well, my daughter got slapped around. I guess I have to
You know
go
how
put
fucking
bullets
true
in
that
her.
is, man? So, like, your average guy is actually not a really good judge of a lot of things.
Nope.
So, and it's kind of amazing how a little bit of experience in something kind of like really outpaces the average guy really quickly.
Right.
I've been noticing this with businesses lately, where your average guy says, "Man, wouldn't it be great if you could do this, this, and this?" And then you run it by someone who actually knows what they're doing. You'd be like, "That'd be out of business in a week." And be like, "Why?" Because this, and this. Is like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "You've tried this, haven't you?" "Yeah, I did." Yeah.
You're absolutely right. No, actually, it's that's one part of it. There are also parts of it where, again, it's that certain, it's that the average guy. Again, our dads were in a lot of ways average guys.
My dad was very average, but then he had a couple things that he was really fucking good at.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
same thing with my dad.
Yep.
But that's the thing is, he did a lot of things around the house that he was very average at.
Yeah.
And when you looked at the things, you're like, why is this not a right angle? When you looked at it, right? He's like, yeah, I can see this is an average guy's construction job,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? You want the experts handling the expert shit. When you come to my dad and say like, "Hey, listen, man, can you help me do math?" It's like,
Yeah,
yes,
sure.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Can you talk to me about telemetry? It's like,
Sure. Got
absolutely.
it.
What
Yeah.
kind do you want to talk
Yeah,
about?
exactly.
Right? I love this stuff. Sit down with me for a minute, right? But yeah, when you look at like, man, these tiles are really kind of,
Got a little jank to him.
it's jank,
Yeah.
and there's a
My
little
toilet wobble a little bit when I flush it,
little bit
man.
of you, you eyeballed this one instead of measuring,
Yeah,
huh?
exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like,
Some
is there
nose.
10W40 or 10W30 in the car?
That's sort of it, man. And that's
Does it
that's
matter?
where, yeah, that sort of like average guy perspective. It's like we need more average people, running this government. It's like,
Not really.
no, you need an average perspective,
Yeah.
but you don't need an average guy.
No. Well, that's the whole thing. I still see the argument about young presidents, and I'm like, no. Okay. So everybody seems to forget that we went through almost 24 years of presidents that were in their 40s when they were elected. That's about as fucking
Mm,
young as you can get.
for the law,
Per the law, that's
yeah,
about as fucking
yeah.
young as you can get. So, because I remember three of them being back to back dual term winners. But they're like, oh my God, it's a gerontocracy. I was like, shut the fuck up.
It's the problem is that you know that word
Oh, I
is
know that word,
yeah,
man. That
yeah,
should be
not
banned.
you.
That should be banned on this channel. That should be.
Hey, look, man, if you're gonna
So
make the argument and turn around and say like, all right, you cannot have people at a No Kings protest that have been in the Senate for 45 years. All
that's
right,
hilarious.
I can if you want to make that argument to me, I will listen to you 10 times out of 10 times.
I actually
But
watched some stuff on some of the No Kings ones. I actually do not have a problem with these. They are so tame. So
this is the saddest, most
I
fucking
don't think it's
astroturf
sad,
shit
man.
I've ever
Well,
seen.
I wouldn't say that's all astroturf, man. I mean, I'm sure there's elements of it that are astroturf, but it's just a boomer generation that's kind of like, what the fuck else are we going to do right now? Let's go do this,
Yes.
and that's fine, man. That's exactly the kind of people you want to see protesting in some respects because it's like, okay, so you're mad, got it. You get it out of your system yet? No, all right. So you do it again in another 6 months, cool. So
Well, I mean, that was the joke I made about it when I started like when they started pointing out the people that were there, the ones that weren't. All right, man.
there's
There's
some
a
old people there, man.
that was the thing is like so who's here, and then you look and you see it's like well it's like it's Jim and Linda, and you look at them, you're like, so y'all thought like you were gonna go apple picking in Vermont this weekend,
Right. But hey, there's a protest going on.
but
We
you
don't like Donald Trump, so
right,
let's
right.
go.
You decided to do an activism instead this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Because if you went to Vermont this weekend, all you'd be doing is like driving back for 2 hours.
You're talking about a generation that did nothing but protest, though.
That's correct,
And
and they're
so it's
getting one
fine.
last one in before they die.
Maybe. They might have some more gas in the tank down there. You never know.
They might.
So, you know, but it is, you're talking about the most protested and, most give a shit generation ever.
Right.
And so once I saw some of the pictures, and I mean, some of the crowds, they were pretty big, but if you looked at it, it was like, these aren't Antifa dudes. Come on, man. So,
Well, the strangest one, the like the LA one was the fascinating one. They had reporters that were like, well, so we were here at 2:30, right?
Mhm,
We've been here since noon.
mhm.
The crowd came in at about 10.
After the breakfast. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
And at 4 o'clock, it's like somebody
Gone.
pulled that fucking whistle in the Flintstones,
Yeah. Yeah.
and 6,000 people slid down dinosaurs
Right,
and into
yeah,
their
yeah.
cars.
And right back home.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like fucking Jeopardy's on there.
It's not.
I
They're
know.
doing like before and afterwards, and they're like,
Yeah, so I saw a couple of them that were like that. They did have a pretty decent sized one up in Denver. And it was the exact same thing. It was like, so 9 News comes on and it's like 6:30 and there's like 40 people.
yeah,
And I was like, this ain't Antifa.
this is
This
the
is
most
fucking harmless.
inorganic bullshit I've ever seen in
It's
my
fine.
life. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I don't know if I doubt those people were getting paid.
I
So,
know a lot of them were.
well, a lot of them, but I'd say it's a tiny. It's those are your agitators that get paid to go there, man. So I mean,
Yeah,
fucking
they're seat fillers, man. They're
Jim
not
and
gonna...
Linda didn't get paid to go there.
Jim and Linda did. Well, yeah, because if you look at the fucking gray hairs, it's like those are the only ones that I can actually answer the questions when they're asked.
That's correct.
The
Yeah,
rest of the people, anybody that was under their
yeah,
age,
your college kids got paid.
those are the ones that
So,
came out there for $150 in a steak.
how do you find that? How do you go to one of those and get paid for it?
Oh,
What's the mechanics for that? I'm curious.
well, so a lot of that is going to come from like social media,
Right. So do I go
right?
to like Blue Sky to find that stuff?
And not necessarily blue sky. I mean,
Okay.
you'll find it on like fucking like Facebook and Instagram. Basically,
Okay.
if you're part of those groups, right?
So you would ask to join one of those groups, and then maybe you go to a probate one, and then you go to another one, and you can actually get paid for it.
Oh no, they're recruiting before you go.
Right. Right. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's interesting.
This is
I must not be in the demographic because I've never gotten a hit or anything like that. I mean, yeah.
no.
Okay.
You're absolutely not. And this is the thing. Is like if you go out of those places, they have signs printed in advance.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an old school union tactic. We saw D11 do it 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah, I forget what was it that they were.
they were mad about their health benefits.
Do their health benefits suck?
Eh, no more or worse than anybody else's. So yeah.
Oh boy. Well, speaking of which, so I started. Um, this is, oh my God, Meta is a San Francisco company.
Do you actually have real health benefits now?
Pat, they don't expect me to do any work.
Don't say that on camera.
Okay, so I took a couple of screenshots. Um, now I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's fine.
What I'm gonna say here is this is the first time I've been in a cohort where um, people are literally putting they them pronouns in their Zoom meetings.
Oh, I've seen that for a while.
Okay, first time,
Yeah.
and I've worked
It's
with it for
academia,
years,
though, man.
right?
That's where all these guys come from.
Okay,
So,
now the schedule is as such, and this was as they sold it. It was like, look, we're looking for quality over quantity.
yeah.
So, oh, okay. So we don't have any internal metrics for how much you produce,
Okay.
right? If you do one an hour,
Mhm.
but you do it well, that's great.
Right.
And it's not going to be that job all the time. It's going to be this, and this. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, well, what hours are we supposed to work? It's like, you're all adults here.
Yeah.
I rarely hear the "you're all adults." There's no tracking, right? You're expected to work 8 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna if the only problem is like if we can't find you, right?
Right.
It's like don't flip on the little available button
If you're not
if you're
available.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
available,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? But just work 8 hours.
Yep.
And do you know what my job actually is?
Mm-mm.
I didn't either until I found out today
Oh, okay.
after 2 days of orientation.
Hmm.
I am part of the crowd that is now making decisions on whether your material you're putting out on Meta is original or unoriginal
Ooh,
content.
interesting. So,
I am now on that side of the,
so what happens if your content is unoriginal? What do they do to you?
well,
So if it's AI generated.
Patrick, so here's how this works. This is so if ever you thought, if ever you were concerned or thought like, man, there seems to be a two-tiered justice system on this. You're absolutely right. There is.
I'm not on any of those, so I don't
All right. So
know.
based on your status of where your account is, and that's basically based on followers, right? If you
So
have
more is better.
more is better. If
Okay,
you
good.
have more, then you automatically get bumped to the sort of like the probationary thing where stays until we can prove that it's not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If you are under that, okay, you automatically get dumped to the demonetized bucket.
Okay, so it sounds like, well, YouTube isn't that forgiving, but
Oh no, no. This is so when people talk about,
yeah.
I think there's a two-tiered system. I can tell you for
I don't
sure,
think anybody was
absolutely.
questioning that seriously.
Um, they may. Here's the thing: is they say it.
Oh.
YouTube and the other groups will say we don't do that.
Well, if you're part of the partner program at YouTube, you know it.
Well, again, that's part of the like yes, partner, and then there's a level above
Oh,
this,
I've never looked beyond that, so
right?
I don't fucking know.
Right,
So yeah.
right. So what I can confirm to you is that yes, there is absolutely a two-tiered system where you are automatically given the grace
Hmm.
if you have X amount of this,
Hmm.
right? Because it's going to pull up this, and then you basically manually review this
Hmm.
and look and see, oh, okay, is this original content? Okay,
Do they have a policy against AI? So you can't use AI generated stuff? Or does that count as original content?
I don't know if that's going to come up. I don't
Oh, okay.
because
I'm
this
just
this
curious.
is so I can't go into the full details of
Yeah,
this,
that's fine.
but I can basically tell
Yeah.
you like this is what you're looking for. Um, because a lot of this too is going to be like if it if it's copyrighted stuff, that's going to be a different story entirely.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
most of
YouTube's
this,
very picky about that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a little different thing, but yeah, if you're curious about to do that, they absolutely do, and that's what I'm doing.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Do you have a
absolutely
problem with the
fascinating.
two-tier system?
Very much so. Yes,
Oh, see, I don't really do.
100%.
Yeah. See, like I
I think
don't
it's disgraceful.
I don't really think I don't know, man. My vision of the egalitarian internet's been destroyed for almost 20 years now. So, yeah. Which is coincidentally almost as long as I've been on YouTube. So.
Your shitty conditioning should not be like this is the thing. It's like as a beaten dog, it should not change your outlook on what should be there.
I don't know, man. I don't think that most content creators are entitled to the audience that they have. So,
Why not?
they just aren't, I mean, like, dude, I'm asking these questions about AI because the other night I cut a really good video and
Did you?
I did a little editing on it. I was like, let me see if I can put some music to this. And I went and signed up for what is it, Sumi or Sumo?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Suno.
yeah.
Holy fucking shit, it made a great song. Like way better than
Like this.
anything and like that. And
Yeah,
it was specific to my video.
correct.
And I was like, every musician is fucked. Because it is good, man. So-
Did you watch the video about how Spotify finally solved its profiteering problem?
I didn't know it had a profiteering problem.
Spotify had never made a cent until the last quarter.
Oh, yeah, I'd heard it wasn't profitable.
ever
Yeah.
until last quarter.
What did it do?
Well, so there's a couple of things. You're aware of the many, many different things they tried to make this a unique business.
Not really. I mean, I knew that they had tried to grow like their user base and their like they got Joe Rogan and
That's
a couple other things. But I mean, I just basically saw it as it. So first of all, it's not an American company, so it doesn't really know what it's doing. So,
it does now. It does now.
but then the other thing was that I just saw it as like, okay, so it's one of those tech companies that we'll figure out how to make money eventually. So apparently that's what happened.
Well, and they lasted long enough to make this work. So the thing was, you're right. The way that they're handcuffed is essentially the same way that Netflix was handcuffed in the beginning too. Was Netflix, all they did was they had you paid this price, you could get 1 to 3 DVDs per month, but they also had an online section, right? And when they were the first people to do it, the licensing for these movies was next to nothing, right?
Yeah, okay.
Now, as soon as streaming company 2 and everything else came out, they said, wait, there's a competition now? We're raising our licensing fees by 60%.
So how does a licensing fee work? I don't understand.
Well, so all right, so if you're catalog like at that time, if you're Columbia or you're whatever, right? At first they're like, yeah, we want to go ahead and show some of your movies on here, right? They say, okay, well, we'll pay you this much.
Pay who?
Columbia.
Columbia will pay Netflix?
No, Netflix pays them.
Okay, got it.
Right? For licensing out their movies to show.
Okay.
Right? Now, what happens there is eventually when other places are now bidding for this, they say, oh, okay, well, we're going to double.
We'll pay you more.
Right.
Yeah. For exclusive access to your
library. Exactly. So as more and more streaming places comes out, the cost of licensing goes up like this.
So which benefits the like Columbia,
Sony,
not
all these, but not Netflix. So what Netflix starts doing is they say like, okay, so we need to start making our own shows.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
And that's where like Stranger Things and all these other things. And when you look at it, a lot of that is Netflix exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 things is yes, keeping that in there, but also reducing their costs by a lot. And also creating things that are exclusive to their platform that you cannot get elsewhere. Right. So Spotify had this problem where it's just music.
And they were paying a shitload of money to Aerosmith or whatever.
Well, it wasn't even that they were paying a shitload to it. It's that everything they had to spend a lot of money to basically get that, whatever they made, whatever they spent, whatever they got, 2/3 was always going to be sent out to the people that they were licensing, right? And so they said, all right, well, can we do original content here?
Yeah.
And that's where the podcasts and all this shit came in.
So they've got their own book of unique podcasts and shit now.
Didn't work because all that happens is people that want to listen to music, right?
They can give 2 fucks about podcasts.
No, because they can get it anywhere else that they want. Right?
I can find it for free. Thanks.
Exactly.
Or I can find another podcast that is free.
So what worked for them, they ended up 2 things, was they ended up raising the prices a little bit. That worked. But the other thing that they did was that thing you talked about with AI music. Okay. It's algorithm based, right?
What, the music?
Yeah, so when you're listening to a playlist, okay, what it does is it takes a certain amount of like, well, you seem to like these mid-tempo 4/4 beats, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And what they've done is they've created tons and tons of fake AI artists.
Oh,
so
that's
that
clever.
When you're listening to this, you have no idea if this band is real or not.
Yeah, that's where it's going, man. I can see that happen. Fucking radio stations are going to jump on that next.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Because the question is,
sorry, Aerosmith, no more fucking money for you.
I'm not going to say that regular bands are going to go anywhere entirely, but there's a version of this where
how do you get big?
Well,
how do you get big in that kind of world? You don't.
It's all going to be based on touring.
Yeah.
It's all going to be based on live performance. This is the thing that what this is going to kill, is there has been a group of middlemen in the
they're dead.
they are the ones that are dead.
They're dead.
Entirely dead. These are the ones that said, like, because this goes back to Napster times. The bands that were making money touring still made money touring. The things that were in the middle that were making the money off of album sales were the middlemen.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you were one of those unless you were Metallica, right, where you got a big cut of those CDs because you'd sell so many of them, every other band, medium tier to low,
Done.
they're like, we don't care. We actually do better because more people are spending our music around.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those middlemen that made all the money off them,
Screwed.
They're screwed. And I guess that's the question is when those guys, I saw him do this. I saw this dude putting it together. It's like, so I want a female singer. She's going to come at this from like a grungy angle. So it's going to be this sound, this sound, this sound. He hits the play button and it goes. And I'm like,
dude,
you can't tell the fucking difference.
Dude, it blew my mind. And I mean,
Crazy.
it was insanely cheap too.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that was like, wait a minute, $10 a month and I can basically generate infinite amounts of music. I was
Insanity.
like, you've got to be kidding me, man. And then like after just fiddling with it for a couple minutes and doing like some tutorials on how to ask it the right questions, I was like, fuck. And then it was like, oh, do you want me to write lyrics for this? I was like, sure, take a stab at it. They were phenomenal.
Great. They're absolutely great.
And it was like, would you like me to generate a song in a new genre using these lyrics? I was like, fuck yeah, let's try it.
Do it. Let's take the $10.
Yeah. I was blown away, man. I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning playing with that motherfucker. And I was like, okay, the music industry is fucked. And here's what's going to happen. Video's right behind it, man. Video's 6 months, 2 years behind it.
Well,
it's that close, man, where I can queue up. It's like, hey, show me a movie that does blah, blah, blah. And it's going to...
Well, this was
fucked, man.
So a guy was, I was listening to a dude. He's like, he's in TV, and he's like, well, I was talking to a friend of mine in Los Angeles who works at one of these special effects studios.
Yeah.
Right. He said the only thing stopping it right now is they have certain like union laws in place that are. So he's like, because it's like if I asked it to make this scene, okay,
yeah.
I could have it do a better version of what I needed, okay? But because of the rules in place, to get this shot, I have to spend at least $80,000
Yeah.
to get this 2-second shot.
Well, see, and that's what will be different is those guys will control the theaters. And so that'll be like there'll be like a lighthouse out there in the middle of the fucking ocean. So, but I'm sorry, you were used to like being this pinnacle where you were entitled to an audience of 100 million. That's not going to happen.
Correct.
That's not going to fucking happen in the future, man. And so, I mean, and that's why I don't have a problem with a tiered internet kind of thing because it's like, all right, man. Well, if it's my fucking theater, so so I can pay better attention to my Metallicas and not so much worry about my garage bands, and that's fine because it's my fucking theater.
Well, and to this end, all right. So if that's how they want to run that, that's fine. But what I can tell you here is, there will be, and I'm telling you, it's going to be sooner than later. Okay, there's going to be a platform sooner than later, right, where you will have people putting their entirely submitted films onto like a streaming service,
Probably,
right? Because there's going to be a component where you say, all right, so what exactly am I paying for at this point? What do I get from going this traditional method, right? And they're going to,
yeah.
There's a certain amount of like, all right, there is what you feed into it and what you direct with is going to be valuable in terms of the product that you make, right? The directors with talent will come from here, right?
Yeah.
And you will see that the people that are good at this will do good things.
They will, but I mean, here's the thing that what got me thinking about this the other night was, well, like one of my podcasts that Walter Kern one was on the other night. And then I follow him on X, and he's a grouchy bastard. So,
Sure.
And that's fine. So, but we
need some.
Well, he's fine. I can only tolerate so much of him. But there was something, they were talking about Hunter S. Thompson the other night or something like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that led me to another tweet, and I can't remember. It might have been Scott Adams or it might have been somebody else who was basically saying something along the lines, well, there's nothing in this world that stops you from. It had something to do with communism, like getting your job and then joining the commune and then contributing to the.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
illegal about that in the United States. And I think it was Walter who actually responded. He's like, "Yeah, my sister did that for a while. She was an engineer and she would go and pooled all their money together and I mean, she would trade money for art and then eventually she said, you know what, I've got enough art. I think I'm going to move out.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of where AI is taking us right now. It's like, well, how much more fucking art do you need, man? It's like I'm pretty fucking full at the moment. And now it just got a shitload cheaper. I mean, he was saying this in a lamenting kind of way, but I was kind of like, I'm going to go check out that music. So,
Well, it's all.
and I was like, yeah, you know what? I mean, it would take me. There was no possible way I could generate something like that on my own. Like the music and the lyrics, like it just even the lyrics. There's no way that I could come up with that shit.
Look at this is
So, and
yeah.
it did it in like 40 seconds. It would take me a lifetime to be able
Well,
to
it
do
take your
that.
life. It's something that your mind is not geared to that, right?
No.
It's not, and that's totally fine.
Mm.
It's like when we talked about like the average Joe working on his house, right?
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't build my own house, Jeff.
That's what I'm
So
talking about.
yeah, but
Yeah,
now I can get internet to build me my own songs.
right,
Individual ones. I can make one for every fucking YouTube video I have.
right. Here's
This is mind-boggling, man.
well, it is and it isn't. All right. So the thing is, like, so it's been my career for the
Hmm.
longest time. And again, I started with like the classics of all literature,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And much of the depression of other people who have been around me and say like, you ruin everything that you watch. No, it's just like, all right, deconstructing the elements of the narrative, right? Wherever that be, artistic, whatever that may be, right? It's there. There's a component of this that is entirely interpretive, right?
Sure.
And that's a piece of it, and that's something that you stipulate to, right? And you say, well, I base this off the best evidence that I possibly can,
Mhm.
right? So there is still a tiny bit of like mystery to it, and there always will be. That's baked into the actual, the production, right? And so there will always be. There's going to be a version of this where you can look at this and say, all right, um, like with the song, there are things where people have looked at this and they said like, based on what I've interpreted here, it seems like this person is writing about this, and it comes from this element, and they're using this emotion, and they're doing this. And you give a 25-minute presentation on it, and then some dickhead comes in there's like, well, Dolly Parton wrote that song for him, right?
Yeah, right,
And you flip around and say like, I'm
yeah.
such an asshole, right? But that's the thing is, you can look at this and you can draw these comparisons. It's the same thing when somebody jumps into Lord of the Rings, right? And they say, based on the environment
Mhm.
that Tolkien was in, he had to mean this, this, and this.
Oh
The author
fuck, I
doesn't
could go
matter.
write a new Tolkien book now.
You absolutely could.
Yeah.
And there's people that say like this is just as good. Other people would say this doesn't fly because it's not going
I
to be
don't care what other people
totally
think of
fine.
it. I mean, the thing that I enjoyed about it more so than anything else was just like, I'm the only person who's ever heard this song. That's
That's it.
fucking cool.
That's
So,
exactly
and
it.
then I was actually getting ready to upload. I was like, fuck that. This is mine.
Absolutely. And so again, I would flip this around to you. So when it comes to what the average person wants, okay, when it comes to what the average person wants, okay, am I going to say like, all right, I am going to save $2 million? Say why? Because I want somebody to handcraft my car piece by piece
Mhm.
with emotion.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. For $2 million, you can get that. What most of us want
Yeah.
is say like, well, if we just put it in the machine, okay,
Mhm.
we'll give it to you for $10,000 flat because the
Right.
machine has just put this thing.
Now I can do it for $10.
It'll look like that $2 million machine,
That's fine.
and it'll also do that because the price is so low, right? Because it's being like this. But if that person wants a handcrafted, emotionally built thing, and if a person says like, "Hey, I want you to make this painting for me," with your emotion to it, sure. And you can pay $45,000 for it.
Yeah.
Most of us will do that. We'll hit the button. We'll hit print.
Yeah.
And put it on our wall and say, well, I got the same thing that you do. It's like, yeah, but mine was right because it's entirely interpretive.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's entirely interpretive.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
I don't know, man. I just don't see how much money is going to be involved in it in the future. I mean, I can see already, like, I mean, the day of like humongous pop artists is probably done.
No, it's think about this like going back to like the Renaissance. There's no mass appeal.
Yeah, exactly.
The machine will handle mass appeal. The individual thing is, you're still going to pay $50,000 for one painting if you have $100 million in your stockpile.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
because that's the thing is when you get to that level, you're doing art for A, either money laundering, or B, because I'm not wrong on that.
No,
you see how that works, or you're doing it because it's one of one.
Right. Yeah, it's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched this person do it.
Yep.
There will be people that will say like, all right, well, watch this process. I'm going to pay this man to make AI generated art for me one for one, and I own the only copy of this.
Make AI generated art?
One for one, but I'm the only owner.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see where it goes.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. And this is, again, this is the component of it. Again, this is the part that people always forget. Just because you don't see how this is going to create more jobs doesn't mean it won't.
No, it probably
always will.
Yeah, it probably will. And well, I mean, this workforce is contracting a little bit too, so it'll be fine, man. I don't buy into any of that doomerism about some of that stuff. I was going down the population shrinkage rabbit hole the other day. That's a nothing burger too. So
here or everywhere?
Everywhere. So I mean, like, oh my God, Italy will cease to exist. It's like, no, it won't. It'll just be different. So, and you can't tell me that it's going to be worse. So,
okay,
there are many, 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 many examples of places that have been depopulated, right? And it worked out fine.
All right. The only concern, right, and this is what I would ask you here, is does that take into account when your entire economy is structured on growth?
You're going to have to go through some pain points. These are unavoidable. Okay. So
this was just going to happen.
It's just going to happen. So, the question is, again, it's a slow-moving disaster. It's not going to be as bad as people think it is. Because those houses that nobody buys, they'll get knocked down. I mean, take a look at Detroit. It's a good example of this lately. So I don't know about you, man, but I have this habit where sometimes when I'm bored and I'm watching TV or something, I'll get on Google Maps and I'll just cruise around the United States a little bit, just check places out.
Like when you're watching something, or?
Yeah, well, watching for me is listening to. I rarely actually watch something. So,
okay, all right.
And this includes all sports news and podcasts and everything.
Because usually when I'm watching something, my Googling is this actor still alive?
I haven't watched anything like that. I need that question answered.
Okay.
Even though I've been on an older movie kick lately, but whatever. So, a lot of those guys. Lee Van Cleef? It was the guy that I was thinking of the other day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
the original bad guy. So anyway, what? I can't remember.
Well, because we were talking about like our daddy's actors.
He was one that I was thinking of. Yeah, there we go.
This is like if you get in there.
And there's like 4 Iron Eagles, man.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought there were 2.
I only saw 2,
but I did go see who Lou Gossett Jr. was, and I was like, okay, I know that guy.
Yeah, you know exactly.
I know exactly who that guy.
He's Officer and a Gentleman. This is,
oh yeah, he was in that too. I remembered him as being the black guy in Jaws 3. The guy who was in charge, he got trapped in the thing and stuck the grenade in the shark's mouth.
Bro, you're talking about an era where if you were lucky enough to live long enough, like to be one of those good actors, you would go into a series of shit movies and maybe come out the other side.
He's got a bunch of them, dude.
Yeah, maybe come out the other side. Because remember Michael Caine was in there for a while too.
He was in the fourth one, which is hands down.
Oh,
So,
right,
yeah,
right. He eventually rolled it back around to being in good movies.
yeah, it was him and Lorraine Gray, who were both like, fucking
Right. Oh,
Halloween
wow.
royalty.
Yeah.
And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden, it's like, what the fuck are you doing in this thing, man?
It's that or go back to TV.
Yeah, I guess that it
And
was.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
back to days of our lives, huh?
Yeah.
And Channel 4, whatever. So, yeah, but I mean, like,
God, Yul
so
Brynner shows up in there somewhere
he
too
does, he
in
does
terms
everything.
of
And
like
Ernest Borgnine was not the captain, so that's a different guy.
who is
So
that?
I don't know, but it wasn't Ernest Borgnine. So Ernest Borgnine was in Petticoat Junction. So and the wackiest ship in the army. So
Oh my god!
it's one where they paint it pink. So yeah, if I recall.
All right.
Anyway, but he is the guy that you think he is.
Okay.
He looks
Yeah.
like that dude, but he's not. So
Okay. Oh Lord. All right. All right. But anyway, yeah, you were looking at Detroit.
yeah, and like so there are entire suburbs of that are basically being reclaimed by nature. Okay, because the
Oh,
cities come through and scrape down shit, and guess what? In 10 years, it'll look fine. So I mean, yeah, it's like okay, so not as many people live here. Did it burn to the ground? Did it break out in nothing but riots and they fucking ate all the children? No, it's just some people stayed, some people moved. And when the people who moved left, the people who stayed, guess what? They had jobs now.
this is true.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, so we're not spending all this money on this subway that never really worked. And I mean, like if you look at the traffic map, it's great.
Look, we do have cities that have come and they have gone.
Yeah,
Like actually disappeared off the map because whatever plutonium they were getting out of the ground at that point,
mhm.
eventually they got it all.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And
I mean, Colorado's a good example of it. It's full of ghost towns, man.
yeah,
So and most of them are still there, and people still live there, and it's not a bad life. So
well, that thing that people always talk about, like they're ghost towns often they're usually not too bad on the McDonald's index. You only have the one, right?
right, but it's still there.
But it's still there.
Yeah.
And the turnaround is, well, what is your backyard? It's like, well, all this.
All this. Yeah.
Because nobody polices it.
No, no. Yeah, no.
We all
That's
ride
right.
four-wheelers up here and shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
We ride our bikes in movies.
Right. Now that's the other thing is on the other hand, where's your closest Kohl's?
It's a ways.
Correct.
But your local Amazon is always up and running.
That's correct.
And that's the thing that, like, it's just like, because somebody was wailing about that, going on about that the other day about Walmart being the bad guy, yada, yada, yada. You remember that whole frame from back in the 80s and the 90s, or I guess it was more so the 90s. It was
90s was the worst part.
yeah,
of it,
killing the small business, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But now if you go to, like, a place like here in Colorado, there's a couple towns where the Walmart is kind of the town.
Yes.
And it kind of draws like everybody in from the other towns around there because it's the place you kind of go. And so it's almost like serving the old five and dime kind of thing.
That's
now.
correct. Yeah.
But I mean, you can actually get a shitload more stuff there than you would be at Tom Hooper's spot.
Which is yes, because with having to distribute less but go to the same place,
Yeah.
it's much cheaper.
But in every neighborhood, even the most remote ones in the world, you can find contract Amazon delivery drivers.
Correct.
So
Yes.
this is, I mean, that's why, like, here's my hypothesis on this one so far, is that the people who are like doomering on this one are like, they're one of three camps. They're either investors who are looking for something, the next train to leave the station, they can't figure out what the fuck it is. So that's probably the biggest camp, and that's probably the loudest camp. The other one are your fucking local communists. So
Yes.
who just are insatiable in terms of misery. So, and the third people are your fucking local libertarians who really do want it to burn down so they can shoot their zombie neighbors. So,
At least that's honest.
I don't think they're being 100% honest about it, but
No, I think they want that.
They're looking for more excuses to stock up on MRATs and fucking ammo. So
That's correct. That's why I say it's honest.
I guess.
It doesn't make it right.
No, it's just any apocalypse will do for me.
That's correct. Yes.
And so if it's the depopulation one, all right, that's a little bit better than the nuclear bombs because at least it can scavenge the neighbor's house.
Bro, okay, again,
It's Fallout style.
it's the same dudes that were so disappointed on New Year's Day 2000
Yeah,
because they were like, it's coming.
it's coming.
It's my time.
Finally time, man.
It's my time.
It's finally time I can quit my fucking job. Yeah.
20 years later.
Reap out of living out of the land.
Correct. 20 years later, these are the same people that saw this, flew from China.
Oh yeah,
And
it's
said,
coming.
it's my
It's
time.
coming. It's my turn.
It's my time.
I was ready last time, but man, I'm super ready this time.
Well, here's the thing: is like I still have canned peas from last time.
do.
They're still good.
They're still good. I haven't opened them.
That's correct. Now, are they still looking for the next? Of course, it's going to be the war against the machines. Now, I will say this:
Oh, that one's big now too. That one's big now too.
it is. And look, there are certain things that yes, you can be concerned about, and that's fine. But there's a component of this. Like I saw this the other day where they were showing. I got laughed at when they started talking about Amazon's going to airdrop your packages from aerial drones. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be on wheels because the thing that I saw here is
I don't think the FAA is going to go for that.
probably not.
Yeah.
But what they have cleared, and this was something that people have reported on, like in bigger cities where they do this. You go to the robo-taxi, right?
Yep.
All right. There's a longer line for this. Why?
Yep.
Because it's like 75% cheaper.
Well, and I don't have to talk to Mr. Habada Habada. You know?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You sit anywhere in the car, right? You sit in the front seat, back seat, wherever,
Yeah.
right? It has a little thing where you plug in your thing. If you want to listen to music there, you can.
Yeah.
Gets you there in the same amount of time. It's like $11 instead of like $35.
See, and like it is the cheaper thing, but it's also cheaper and less social. So
Correct.
you're like that's the thing that a lot of like entrepreneurs and stuff just don't get. But if you can reduce the amount of social interactions you have with people, that's usually a good bet in terms of like capturing a lot of market share.
My man, I would at some point I'm going to have to look at the books and see. I'm going to have to look at Domino's business versus when the tracker was instituted. Is basically like
I'm sure it's vertical.
I wouldn't doubt it. I can't prove it for sure, but I feel like that's something that.
Sure, it's fucking vertical.
But so
it almost feels like it's baking in your oven. And all I have to do is just wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about this when it comes to how things are going to do with Amazon. I think that what's going to happen here is they're going to have a driverless truck, okay?
Yeah.
And it's going to have essentially, because I saw the machine that does this, is on the inside, it's basically a walking thing with wheels. It can go on any
one
service.
Of the robo dogs from fucking Boston Dynamics.
Well, even better than that because it's not just on feet. It has feet wheels.
Right. Yeah.
So the truck is going to come out here. The dolly is going to come out the back, right, with your stuff. It's going to drop it off and then go back, and it's just going to be automated.
Yeah.
Right. And that's you and I have talked about it. What's the top? The most expensive thing. It's always going to be people, right? So if this thing is doing the driving and it's going out to rural areas, if the whole thing is like, all right, you have a dude that's going to be on the lookout, like, are there any holdups? Are there any places here where the driverless truck fucking fell off the road?
Yeah,
I have to go rescue
got
that.
Stuck or something.
Right, or the dog got stuck. I have to get this straightened out. That's fine.
You've got a pickup truck with some tools in it. You drive out there and fucking
Correct.
fix it. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of things that are like that, man. Because quite honestly, a lot of those jobs just fucking suck. And I mean, you can't like at scale. I mean, there's so many employee costs that are ubiquitous across. So like with like drivers like that, even if you contract out, your contractors have insurance requirements. They have individual state laws that they have to comply with. They have all kinds of different things. And then, I mean, so it turns out that's a lot more expensive than actually just doing the capital invest on those individual things and then having a well-paid maintenance staff that actually runs around and takes care of that stuff when needed. it makes perfect business sense. I mean, I bet you'll probably see more in their warehouse now. I know some of their warehouses are already automated. They have these cool like skateboard things. Remember those things that you used to like Mr. O would bring them out on the rack, and they had the wheels on the bottom of them.
Do this.
No, no, not those. They were just like a single one, and you used to
Oh
scoot
yeah,
around
yeah,
on them.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's almost like those things, but they're all autonomous, but it'll stack like boxes on, well, not even boxes, but they're crates with individual shit
Yes.
pack.
Yeah.
So the thing that they use people for still in the packing centers is the actual packing part. Okay, because it's like, I mean, you have a warehouse that has 250,000 items in it. Okay, you can't build a robot yet that has the fingies to be able to take a look at a package and say, okay, so this will fit in this, and then I do it real fast. I mean, they can do certain of these things because I've seen videos on it, but it is fucking slow because it's like, where a guy's just like, bam, so
Yep.
but I mean the driving thing, and my understanding is that's basically Amazon's pain point, and that's why they use so many fucking contractors. I mean, have you ever like watched your Amazon guy come up?
Yeah.
It's pretty rare for him to actually be in a van that says Amazon on it anymore. So it's pretty rare.
Yes, but it was an Amazon truck that actually destroyed my mailbox.
It was.
That's correct.
See, yeah, see, probably driver error.
It was snowy out,
Oh, okay. So,
but that still doesn't make it my
right.
fault.
Yeah, it doesn't make it your fault.
They still paid for it.
Yeah.
Well, no, and this is the thing is you're absolutely right. Because we have lived through like four versions of this. Okay,
Already.
because I was there, you were there too. It would have been our parents bitching about this, or the news they were watching. But it started with, okay, so you used to go downtown, and there were a couple of different toy stores, and these were like mom and pop places.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when Toys R Us came to town, put them all out of
Oh
business.
my God. Yeah.
Right? Same thing goes. We used to have little department stores. Then Best Buy rolled into town.
And put them all out of business.
Put them all out of business. Yeah. It was the end.
Except for GameStop for some reason. They're doing really well.
No, they're not.
Oh, I saw the other day that they actually were doing pretty good.
They're not doing well. They are a fake stock. That is what's keeping them in business.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Right?
I didn't look into it too deep.
Yeah, it's
a tech stock, huh?
They're not doing great. But that being said, I mean that's the same thing is then we saw where it's like, okay, now Walmart is everywhere. It's going to put all the rest of these places out of business.
Nope.
Well, it has put some places out of business.
It's put a lot of places.
And other places have formed a symbiotic relation with
a lot of people are dependent upon Walmart.
There are things that Walmart doesn't do, and they do what they can't.
That's why the Perkins is across the street.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. People thought, I mean, this is where, like, you know what, people want a personal touch. This is why they're going to come to the Kmart Cafe.
Nope. They were here because they didn't want to make two stops.
That's correct. And in the battle between Kmart and Target, one of them will come across, eventually kill the other. Probably Walmart.
Oh, Walmart and Target?
Yeah.
I think there's enough room for both. See, that's the thing about companies like Walmart and Target. Eventually they get big enough where they're fine. They're just like, you know what, I could take you down, but it would not be worth my time. And well, it prints money. We make our shareholders happy as long as we keep maintenance level going on here and keep on top of trends and stuff like that, and don't start slipping. We'll be fine.
Well, it's interesting.
Companies do that all the time.
They do. What's interesting is both of those companies have famously failed in other markets. Oh, right? Yeah. There are. I can't even tell you. I remember that. I think it was Target tried to foray into Canada.
Nope.
And I think they built like 60 stores, demolished all of them because it didn't work.
Yep. And Walmart's repeatedly failed to actually push its way into Mexico.
And China.
Well, they've had a few in China, but the problem with China was that
it's not a Walmart type of economy. There's not.
Well, it is, but like instantaneously, there's one next door that's called Walmart. And they already have all friends with your suppliers because they're in the same party as your brother-in-law, kind of thing. And so Walmart got pushed out of there.
They did not take into account the refusal to adhere to Marcus of Queensberry rules of business.
Those don't exist over there. Yeah. So everybody's found that out, including Elon Musk. So,
Oh boy, yeah, I know.
who just went in there. He's like, well, they're going to steal our shit, so steal our shit,
Right.
and then,
Then I don't have to get mad at you.
and then,
Yeah.
now, like, you're talking about the biggest EV market on the face of the fucking planet, but buying a Tesla over there is like kind of a status symbol because it's not from China, which is weird, man.
Hey, dude,
So,
it's the same. It's like every you know exactly how this works. It's every like luxury brand where, oh, this is Italian. Well,
right.
it was 91% assembled in Mexico.
Yep.
It got shipped back to Italy where they put the stamp on it and then gave
Made in
it to
Italy,
you.
yeah.
Right. I believe that was when you and I we talked some time ago about the the way that Carhartt went from a luxury brand to
Carhartt was a luxury brand.
amongst the that sector of when you could buy those kind of coats, right?
Okay.
They were the king daddy for a minute. And then when people say like, man, Carhartt really fell off, it's that same thing.
I don't know, man. I still have Carhartt. So
It's like 20 years old, isn't it?
yeah.
Because you bought it from a good time. Because now what they do is they assemble it in wherever it is and then put the stamp on it. It's basically
Oh.
yeah, they
I
charge the same price but cut
Yeah,
down
you're
the
just paying for the brand.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's there you go.
Yeah,
AI music.
there you go.
Yeah.
AI music.
Yeah.
Yep. You print your own jacket.
I'll see why not.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, that's
I'm
fine.
fat.
Yeah, I'm Jeffrey.
Hitting the button.
Yeah. Good luck to